No hay otra cosa que en cuerpo y alma me desarme. Contigo todo se siente mejor. Pintaría el mundo de tu color, bebé. Échame la culpa a mí, por si ganas saber. Dile que un día te vi, del otro te enamoré. Échame la culpa a mí, por si ganas saber. Dile que te lo advertí, que tú ibas a caer. Fue en un ratito, yo quería y tú querías. Hacerlo sería un delito, pero qué rico sería este deseo de besarte. Decírtelo en la cara, que ese cuerpo es y besarte. No hay otra cosa que en cuerpo y alma me desarme. Contigo todo se siente mejor, pintaría el mundo de tu color, bebé. Échame la culpa a mí, por si ganas saber. Dile que un día te vi, del otro te enamoré. Échame la culpa a mí, por si ganas saber. Dile que te lo advertí, que tú ibas a caer. Yo sé que no, si ganas saber.
It's legendary beats.
They know my story. From old dogs to you, I be hustling.
Demos la bienvenida a Moisés María Roiz, director de CaixaForum Sevilla. Please welcome Moisés María Roiz, Director of CaixaForum Sevilla.
Muy buenas tardes a todas, buenas tardes a todos. Presidente del Gobierno de España, CEO y fundador de Global Citizen, autoridades, representantes institucionales, bienvenidas, bienvenidos a este centro CaixaForum, sede de la Fundación La Caixa en Sevilla. Para todos nosotros, todos los que formamos la Fundación La Caixa, es un honor poner nuestra casa a disposición de esta importante jornada Global Citizen Now Sevilla, organizada por Global Citizen y con el apoyo del Gobierno de España. Desde hace más de 120 años, la Fundación La Caixa trabaja para contribuir a construir una sociedad mejor y más justa, en la que las personas tengan mejores oportunidades de futuro. Con un presupuesto de 650 millones de euros anuales, que esperemos llegar a 800 en el 2030, desarrollamos esta misión en 3 grandes líneas de actuación: la integración social y laboral, el impulso de la investigación y el talento y la divulgación del conocimiento y la cultura. Además de estas 3 líneas, nuestro reciente plan estratégico nos encarga también trabajar para impulsar un rol más relevante en los entornos internacionales. Por todo ello, queremos dar las gracias a Global Citizen y al Gobierno de España por dejarnos participar acogiendo este importante encuentro internacional en nuestra casa, que además, como me refería hace un segundo, nos ayuda a caminar en nuestra senda estratégica. En el ámbito global, nuestras actuaciones las lidera el área internacional de la Fundación La Caixa. Aquí tenemos a su directora, que desde el año 1997 trabaja con 2 objetivos principales: generar oportunidades y luchar contra la pobreza de colectivos vulnerables en países de África, Asia y América Latina, por un lado, cosa que hacemos con programas de cooperación y centrando el foco en 4 grandes ámbitos: creación de empleo, supervivencia infantil, emergencias y acción humanitaria y, en cuarto lugar, fortalecimiento de organizaciones de la sociedad civil. Todo ello con igualdad de género y cambio climático como elementos transversales. En segundo lugar, buscamos fomentar alianzas con fundaciones y organismos internacionales de vanguardia y participar en las principales redes y foros de filantropía internacional, incentivando el intercambio de conocimiento y colaboración. En la Fundación La Caixa estamos convencidos del rol destacado que tiene el sector privado ante los retos que juntos enfrentamos: pobreza, cambio climático, salud global, educación. Son problemas complejos y multifacéticos que no pueden ser resueltos por un solo actor. Ante ellos, el sector privado puede ganar protagonismo, sin duda, por la vía de la movilización de fondos, pero también de forma especial por situar sobre el terreno de juego las características que les son inherentes, como el intercambio de mejores prácticas, la capacidad de promoción, la sensibilización. En él, las fundaciones y organizaciones filantrópicas nos encontramos, en una posición privilegiada para impulsar la innovación social, provocar el diálogo entre sectores e incentivar la generación de recursos. Así que, por eso estamos convencidos de que el compromiso del sector privado con el desarrollo internacional será clave para seguir construyendo juntos un futuro más inclusivo y sostenible y para avanzar en el logro de los ODS. También para hacer que la Conferencia de Sevilla sea todo un éxito sólido para aquello que realmente es clave, el apoyo más vigoroso a los necesitados. Así que, presidente, consejero delegado de Global, estamos listos e ilusionados en ello. Empecemos hoy, aquí en Global Citizen Now Sevilla, en Caixa Forum Sevilla. Bienvenidas, bienvenidos.
COP25 gives global citizens a unique opportunity to drive change. As leaders convene in Seville for the FFD4 conference, the question is clear. How will we fund the future as we reckon with an outdated system, fragmented responses, promises made but not kept? Seville brings together leaders from government, the private sector, philanthropy, and civil society to forge a new path. This moment paves the way toward a future that leaves no one behind. To achieve this, we must rethink how global financing works and who it works for, reaffirm the multilateral system, move from paternalism to partnership, from promises to action. From protecting the Amazon to scaling renewable energy, we can fund solutions if we change how the system works. The money is there. We must unlock capital at scale, driving innovative financing and tackling debt, aligning public and private incentives, reforming multilateral development banks, and using tools such as SDRs. This is not a question of charity. It's about justice, equity, and restoring accountability and development for all. From Seville to Berlin and on to Johannesburg. Global Citizen will drive accountability, action, and ambition. The time to take action is now.
Demos la bienvenida a la presentadora de Global Citizen Now Sevilla, Nomzamo Mbata, actriz, activista humanitaria y embajadora de Global Citizen, y a Hugh Evans, cofundador y director ejecutivo de Global Citizen. Please welcome your host for Global Citizen Now Sevilla, actress, humanitarian, and Global Citizen Ambassador Nomzamo Mbata, and Global Citizen co-founder and CEO Hugh Evans.
President Sanchez, Your Excellencies, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GC Now Sevilla. A round of applause. It is chilly outside, wouldn't you agree? This week, ladies and gentlemen, leaders from around the world are gathering right here in Sevilla for the 4th International Conference for Financing for Development. Over the course of this afternoon, Global Citizen is excited to host essential conversations, action-based dialogues to drive commitment towards ending extreme poverty through protecting the Amazon and scaling up renewable energies across the continent of Africa.
Thank you, Nomzamo. In 2025, Global Citizen is hosting 2 major campaigns that will have a lasting impact for our planet. Our Protect the Amazon campaign aims to secure $1 billion in commitments to end deforestation by 2030, protect indigenous lands, improve satellite monitoring, and expand sustainable farming and forestry so we can protect, restore, and rewild the Amazon rainforest. And to date, this campaign has already mobilized $100 million from governments and businesses towards this target. And secondly, our Scaling Up Renewables in Africa campaign aims to mobilize investments to ensure affordable energy access for the 600 million people across Africa who currently live without power. Without electricity, children cannot do their schoolwork, people cannot receive health care, and parents cannot easily prepare nourishing meals. If we succeed, those 600 million people will have access to solar, to wind, to hydropower, and ultimately a more prosperous and sustainable life. Our session today will showcase the opportunity of international cooperation at a time when the world so urgently needs it, as we need to do more with less to deliver the impact that is needed to end extreme poverty around the world.
You couldn't have said it better, Hugh. And it's not an act of nobility, it's an act of justice. We're at a critical point. Foreign aid budgets in major donor countries are declining. Countries are looking back and saying, wait a minute, international aid architecture is failing us. With only a few months until COP30 in Brazil and the G20 in my home country, Johannesburg, this week must be a defining milestone for political change.
And we are extremely grateful to the government of Spain, President Pedro Sanchez. Let's give him a round of applause. And the La Caixa Foundation for their support in facilitating today's discussions. From protecting the Amazon to scaling up renewable energy, we can fund solutions to end extreme poverty within our lifetime.
To start today's program, it is our incredible honor to welcome the co-host of Global Citizen Now Seville and the host of the UN's 4th Financing for Development Conference.
While governments around the world have been cutting foreign aid, Spain is an example because they've been championing sustainable development and calling on world leaders to work collaboratively on reshaping the global financial architecture. President Sanchez has been a long-term supporter of Global Citizen and our mission. His leadership and support of our work during the COVID-19 pandemic had a huge impact for millions of people. He has appeared multiple times on our festival in New York City, lending his support for our mission. And just this week in Brussels, President Sanchez and I were at the Gavi replenishment that mobilized $9 billion to protect 500 million children from preventable diseases. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage His Excellency Pedro Sanchez, President of the Government of Spain.
Well, thank you very much, my friends, colleagues, and of course, thank you very much, Moises, for hosting this very important event. It is a great pleasure to join you at this gathering organized by Global Citizen Now. Thank you for bringing young and fresh voices to Seville. As you all know, the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development is a once-in-a-decade summit, a unique opportunity, therefore, to reaffirm and renew our commitment to multilateralism, especially at this critical international juncture. That is why Spain, my country, is particularly proud and honored to host this conference, because we are fully committed to supporting the global effort to rethink how we finance development, how we work together as partners, and how we overcome the barriers to the urgent investments needed to achieve the sustainable development goals. Despite the state of the world, I want to share with you today a message of hope. Hope that we can end poverty. Hope that we can achieve sustainable development. Hope that we can contain the climate emergency. And hope that we can build more just societies. Write it in bold capital letters, hope. The very fact that this conference is happening while conflicts rage across the globe, it is a reason to be hopeful. That more than 50 heads of states and government and dozens of other leaders from international organizations, business and civil society have come to the capital of Andalusia, Seville, to work for a fairer and more efficient system despite the 40 degrees weather should certainly lift our spirits. Hope matters, and action delivers. We need to roll up our sleeves and do the work that hope demands. Because sustainable development, we all know, is at risk. Financing is lacking. Aid cuts have been drastic, especially this year. 2 out of every 5 people on Earth live in countries that spend more on debt services than on public services. Against this unfavorable environment, this conference is a call to action. Against a discouraging present, we put forward our courage and the vision of the future we want to build. Starting today, we must mobilize more and better resources for sustainable development. We must promote initiatives to reduce the $4 trillion annual financing gap to achieve the SDGs. And we must reform the international financial architecture so it can respond to development needs and global challenges like inequality, gender equality, and of course, climate change. This is one of the few forums where donors, recipients, and civil society meet on equal footing, because this is the moment to change course. And I believe, really I believe, we have the will and we have also the means to do so. My country, Spain, you said earlier, is committed to reaching the target of 0.7% of GDP for development aid. We call on our partners to do the same. We're also working for fairer, more predictable and more sustainable development financing. Some of our goals include, first of all, ensuring that developing countries have a seat at the table in international financing decision-making, financial decision-making. Second, reducing debt pressures through initiatives like the Debt for Investment Swap Hub and the Alliance for the Debt Suspension Clauses in times of disaster or crisis. Third, unlocking international public financial flows through more responsive and better coordinated development banks. And fourth, creating a fairer, more progressive and transparent tax system where large fortunes and corporations contribute more. Unfortunately, we didn't have the best news coming from G7 last week. Ensuring women have greater access to financing to strengthen their role in sustainable development. This will be, of course, one of our major goals. So I am, my friends, confident that these goals are within reach, and these are just a few. There is much more to do. In these times of deep uncertainty, of growing geopolitical tensions, we must reaffirm our commitment to multilateralism, our commitment to cooperation, and to shared responsibility. This conference is not just another meeting. It shouldn't be another meeting. It is a moment of truth, a chance to show that it is precisely in the darker moments when we need to keep alive the flame of hope, when we have to raise our voice even louder and tell the world that we will not give up and neither we will give in, that we will keep working and fighting for a better world. So my friends, dear colleagues, I know it is not easy out there, but together we can rise to the scale of the challenges before us. If we act with determination and unity, we can make real progress. We can strengthen trust in our multilateral systems and institutions. We can deliver meaningful results for people, for the planet, and for the future. So let's make this conference in Seville a turning point. Let's make it a success. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Agradecemos al presidente del Gobierno su participación en Global Citizen Now. Vamos a hacer una breve pausa para despedirle y continuamos. Por favor, permanezcan sentados. We thank the President of the Government of Spain for taking part in Global Citizen Now. We are now going to have a short break to see him off before we continue. Please remain seated.